What's up, guys? My name is Devin, also known as FBE, and welcome back to another episode of Footballrs. In today's video, we're going to be unboxing and reviewing the Nike Vapor Edge 360 Elite 2. Let's do it. All right, guys, so here are the cleats that we're going to unbox today. Again, these are the Nike Vapor Edge 360 Elite 2.0 in an 8.5. Something kind of unique is that these do have the classic orange and white Nike box. The last ones, the Speeds and the Pros, had this new recyclable brown box, but these cleats have the orange box. Let's open them up. Ooh, I forgot I got the all whites. So in this unboxing period, I'm going to give you guys kind of my first impressions, talk about the cleat, some stuff that jumps out at me, talk about the design a little bit, how I think the cleat might perform, and then later in this video, you guys will get to see the full review. All right, guys, first thing we're going to talk about is the heel padding. So this has plenty of heel padding. You guys can kind of see the thickness in the padding around the heel, and then it's got these little pods in there as well, which were also on the new Speeds, but not the new Pros. So that's kind of weird. This new tongue is extremely thin up here at the top. You guys can kind of see like this whiter portion. It's just super thin, super malleable. But then the lower part of the tongue is like a thick foam material. It feels really nice. I really do like how that feels. And you guys can see this cleat does have kind of like a booty construction. So your foot is kind of hugged inside of this inner booty, and then there's kind of an exoskeleton kind of deal on the outside, which is pretty normal for Nike football cleats these days. They've been doing that a lot. Same with Adidas, honestly, too. But yeah, lots of padding in the heel, and then also a really nice padded tongue as well. And then let's talk about the outer. So there's a lot of different stuff going on the outside of the cleat. The first thing that's kind of jumping out to me is this like bulky shape. It's like kind of squishy. It's like a padded almost, but I'm not really sure what its purpose is other than adding weight. And then it's up here at the top as well. It's thick, you know, it'll give you some cushion, probably some support as well, but I don't see the need for it down here unless it's part of the actual heel cup, which I guess is a possibility. You do have the stitching over that middle where the two pieces come together. We saw that on, I think, all the models so far this year. And what a weird football cleat. This is, like I said, this is nothing like the Elites from before. Definitely really different. Let's talk about the lacing system real quick. So this is pretty much, I think, the same or a very similar lacing style that we saw on the Speeds. And it does come with that runner's racers loop that we've talked about a ton. So you guys actually run these laces through here, and then you get some incredible heel lockdown. Nike has added this eyelet to all three of their Vapor cleats this year, so that's really exciting. The whole cleat just seems a lot chunkier than, you know, past Vapor models. It's a chunkier cleat. It's thicker all over the place. This Nike swoosh, though, is absolutely incredible. This chrome swoosh, that's really nice. Let's talk a little bit about the styling. So yes, we do have this awesome, ginormous chrome logo. We have kind of like a, I want to say like a lattice grid-like texture right here. You have a little backwards Nike swoosh kind of right next to the big one. A little bit strange. We do have some Vapor branding right here, and then a big silver swoosh on the inside part of the cleat. And then look at all the different stitching that's going on in there. And then again, another look at this weird like geometric padding that they've got going on. On the tongue, we're gonna have a nice silver Nike logo as well as some Vapor branding. So it says Vapor Edge Elite 360, which of course is the name of this football cleat. And then it does have the regular Vapor Edge traction plate, the same traction plate. It looks really good, white on white. I think the plate itself is actually clear, so you guys can kind of see through it, which I'm not sure if we've seen that in the past, but it's really cool. And then the edge part of the plate is that nice silver to kind of tie back into some of these silver details, which looks really nice. I really do love this colorway. I definitely think it's one of the better colorways on the market. Let's quickly check out the insole. I'm sure it's the same insole as all the others, and it is. So it's a very thin foam insole, and then this grid right here locks into a grid that we actually get a really good visual of for the first time, because usually they're kind of tough to see, but you guys can really see the whole thing in there. Looks like we got some extra glue in the heel, which is kind of not good probably, but it's always nice to be able to open up a cleat and really see what's going on. And this cleat has a huge opening, you know, right here for your foot to slide in. No heel loop, no front tab on the tongue either, so you just got to kind of jam your foot in there. No tabs. You guys know I like tabs, but I think these cleats will be all right without them. Yeah, overall, it seems like a really solid constructed cleat. Again, there's just a lot of stuff going on, a lot of padding throughout the whole cleat. Like, again, you've got some up around the collar, down by the heel cup. The tongue itself is pretty padded up until this more whitish point right here. It's a thick TPU material. It is pretty flexible, though. It moves pretty good. I really can't wait to try these out and see how they perform on the field. because these in my mind just don't scream speed football cleat. They seem more like a big skill cleat, or like a skill cleat for a powerful guy. Like I can see Saquon Barkley wearing these a lot next year. We'll see what he pulls out. He's usually one of their guys comes to the Vapors / Alpha line. And this kind of seems to be like a hybrid between Vapors and Alphas, so maybe he will wear these. But overall, it's a pretty looking cleat. I like it, especially in this colorway. But I'm really excited to see just how it feels with all this different padding and materials going on. Super excited. Now that you guys have watched the unboxing, we're going to dive into the review period. And in this review period, there's a couple different things we're going to look. We're going to look at the comfort, the fit and support, the weight, the traction, the style, what positions these cleats are best for, and lastly, the price. We're going to kick things off by looking at the comfort of the cleat. As soon as I put these on, I discovered that they were incredibly comfortable. These are the most comfortable cleats I've tested this entire summer, and they're easily one of the most comfortable cleats I've ever even put on. The upper appears to be a thin, flexible TPU material that gives your foot a nice fit, but also gives it plenty of mobility. And all of that bulky padding we talked about during the unboxing plays a huge role in how comfortable this cleat is. The padding in the heel is super thick all the way around. They even added some of these tiny little pods that kind of hug the sides of your Achilles, and it feels so amazing. These definitely feel more like a Nike Alpha cleat instead of a Nike Vapor cleat, and that's probably one of the reasons they feel so comfortable. These cleats also have this bit of padding on the outside of the bottom of the heel area, and this isn't going to add any comfort, but it does give you a little bit of protection, which means comfort in the long run. Another thing I love about this cleat is the tongue and the overall booty that is beneath that TPU material. Most Nike Vapors have this inner booty beneath the upper material that kind of hugs your foot, and the majority of the tongue and booty on this cleat is like a super nice thick foam material. It feels incredible on the top of your foot and helps give you that kind of locked in feel. Then at the very top of the tongue, they used a nice lightweight thin material with a little bit of padding, and it even has a little cutout, which is going to prevent any discomfort from the tongue rubbing up against your foot. Now the insole on these is the same as all the other Nike Vapor cleats. It's just a super thin piece of foam. It doesn't really do a good job absorbing any energy, but it does give you a nice raw feel of the turf. If they just threw a thicker, more cushioned insole in these, they would probably be the most comfortable cleats ever. Overall, these are definitely a bulkier cleat, but all that extra padding and all that extra support makes it one of the most comfortable cleats in the game. The next thing we're going to talk about is the fit and support. The fit on these is amazing, and they do fit true to size, so if you guys wear a size 9, get a size 9. They are slightly narrow like most Nike Vapors are, but there is still plenty of room in the toe box. These do have the traditional lacing system like we've seen on the newer Speeds and Pros, and they even included this extra eyelet that's kind of set beneath the rest. This extra eyelet is known as the Racer's Loop, and it's super popular among runners and running shoes. Using this correctly gives the cleat a super secure feel and some serious heel lockdown as well. We talked a little bit about the booty and the tongue earlier, but these play a huge role in the overall fit of the cleat. The foam is super thick and it surrounds your entire foot. Since it's made from a foam material, the material works with your foot and adapts to the fit that you need. The end result is what I would describe as a perfect fitting football cleat with a little bit of wiggle room, which is something I like. For a Vapor branded football cleat, the support on these is way above the rest. These have a mid-cut ankle, which gives you support right at the side of your ankle, right where your ankle bone is, and then some directly in the back as well. I mentioned it earlier, but these cleats honestly to me feel like more of a blend of the Nike Alpha line with the Nike Vapor line. They have the thicker padding and support of an Alpha, but then a more low profile feel, and of course the Vapor Edge traction plate. Overall, these do fit true to size, but they do fit and feel more like a big skill cleat rather than a true speed football cleat. The next we're going to talk about is the weight of the cleat. In a size 8.5, which is what these are, these weighed in at 11.5 ounces. 11.5 is definitely on the heavier side for a Vapor branded cleat especially. Just for reference, the Speeds were 10.1 ounces and the Pros were 9.9 ounces. That 11.5 number makes plenty of sense because obviously this is a more bulky cleat and they've got plenty of padding all over this thing. The next thing we're going to talk about is the traction. The traction on these is just like all the other Nike Vapor Edges, amazing. The Nike Vapor Edge traction plate is the best traction plate on the market. It's a two-piece construction. You have your foreplate here and your heel plate here, and then they have these edge studs at the outermost parts of your foot, so when you go to cut, that's going to be the first thing hitting the dirt so you guys can get in and out of cuts quickly and efficiently. The plate also has a super stiff, snappy feel, and that's due to the plastic shank that runs through the entire length of the cleat. This gives you a little bit of boost with each step, and it also gives that cleat that really raw speed cleat feeling. Overall, the edge plate is great. It's one of the best on the market by far, and it's perfect for all you skill guys. The next thing we're going to talk about is the style of the cleat. Now, honestly, when I first saw these, I thought they were hideous. And then again, when they officially dropped them, I looked at them and I'm still like, that's chunky, doesn't look like a Vapor cleat, not really a fan. And it didn't really fit into the Nike Vapor line. And even now, they're still definitely not one of my favorite looking football cleats. They do look a little chunky, they do look a little bit weird, but they do look a lot better on foot. The design is definitely weird if you look at it as a Nike Vapor football cleat. It's a mid to high cut cleat. It has this crazy, bulky, geometric shape padding thing going on the heel, and it's just not as streamlined as the Speed and the Pro. It does have some neat details like the geometric padding in the heel, the giant silver swoosh, the grid-like texture on the toe box, the small swoosh at the base of the laces, the silver swoosh on the inside, and then they even wrote Vapor Edge Elite 360 on the tongue. Overall, this cleat definitely doesn't look as good as the Speed and the Pros, and it is really bulky for a Vapor branded football cleat. But it does have some unique details and it stands out when you put them on. The next thing we're going to talk about is what position these cleats are best for. Usually this is a pretty easy category, but these cleats are very unique. I've talked about it several times throughout this video, but I see these cleats as kind of a hybrid between a Nike Alpha and a Nike Vapor football cleat. I think these cleats are going to be ideal for the skill guy who wants a little bit more support than the other Vapors, or an Alpha guy who wants something just a little bit lighter and more speed oriented. I can see a lot of different players wearing these cleats, but the positions that come to mind for me are QB, running back, tight end, wide receiver, linebacker, and DB. I just see these cleats as kind of a middle ground between the Vapors and the Alphas. Personally, this is the perfect cleat for me. I've never really felt like I love the Vapors or I love the Alphas. I love the support of the Alphas and I love the speed orientation feel of the Vapors. So this for me is just my ideal football cleat. I was also a massive fan of the Nike Vapor Untouchable Elite 3, which had similar vibes. High cut, lightweight, speed-oriented cleat with plenty of support. The next thing we're going to talk about is the price. These cleats retail for an astounding $200, which makes them the highest retail football cleat on the entire market. And of course, this is Nike's highest priced cleat in their lineup. The speeds are 100 and the pros are 125, and then of course these are 200. 200 is a pretty insane price to pay for a pair of cleats, but if there's any cleats out there that are worth it, I'd say it's these. They are unbelievably comfortable and made with plenty of what seem to be durable materials. Now with all that in mind, I don't think this cleat is going to be for everyone. $200 places them out of a lot of people's price ranges, and again, they are very unique and specific cleat to begin with. Overall, I absolutely fell in love with the Nike Vapor Edge 360 Elite 2. These are the comfiest cleats I've tested in a long time. They fit super secure and they have the best traction of any cleat on the market. Again, these are a very unique cleat, so it's going to take a very specific someone to want these because they do truly feel like a cross between the Vapor and the Alpha line. And then at $200, who's really going to shell out $200 for a pair of football cleats? Overall, these are my personal ideal football cleat. I absolutely love them. If I have to go play a game right now, I'm grabbing these on my way out the door. There you guys have it. There's the full unboxing review on the Nike Vapor Edge 360 Elite 2. Hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, like this video, comment what you guys want to see from us in the future, and subscribe for more videos just like this one. My name is Devin, also known as FBE, and thank you guys so much for tuning into another episode of Footballrs.